Well, good morning everybody. Another day, another video. Today, a different radio for me completely. A Midland 248XL. Something I knew very little about. But it's arrived here to play with. Got some power on it. Oh, get it connected up. And see what we can do. Strange radio. When we switch on now, well, switch the power back on, switch the radio on, there we are, all very pretty in blue. We'll put it on channel 20 for now. This does throw me a little bit because it's got a large LCD screen, but it's also got a standard S meter, and I keep looking at the large LCD screen expecting to say signal strength, but of course it's not there because it's on the proper signal meter, and I can't get used to that. I'm so used to now LCD screens of that size having a signal strength on it. I just can't get used to looking at the meter alongside. But anyway, here we have it. So we've got it connected up to something, and we're just going to run through a few little quick checks on it. When it did arrive, it was in a very poorly state, but it's feeling much better now. It seems to be doing everything it should. So let us do some of the usual checks: wattage, sensitivity, frequency, and so on. So first of all, let's line the camera up onto the counter, move it onto the frequency counter and the wattage, and we'll see what it's doing in that direction. Okay, well, we're now looking at the frequency counter and the power meter. So let's key up and see what happens. Oh, we're not connected to the frequency counter, so before key up, let's connect it up. Find the right lead. Take 2, frequency counter. Okay, well, now we're connected to the frequency counter and the power meter. We'll key up and see what's going on. There we are. Power meter is showing 4 watts and the frequency 27,791,267. So that is amazingly close to the right frequency. Should be 27,791,25, and it's 268,267. So it's within 10 cycles of where it should be, which is remarkably good. So the power output is spot on, the frequency is spot on, so there's absolutely no complaint there. Next check then is to see what the deviation is like. Switch the deviation meter on and we'll measure that. Right, let's have a look at what the deviation is like now. We've got the camera pointing at the deviation meter. Key up. Meter goes to 0, and then we speak 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, hello. And as you can see, absolutely spot on. Deviation is absolutely perfect. So frequency right, deviation right, power right. The only thing left to check really is the sensitivity. We'll just do a quick check with the signal generator and see what the reception is like on this device. signal generator on frequency. There's our 12 dB cyanide, 12 dB cyanide, and the signal generator is at 110 and then minus 120. Minus 120 dBs. Minus 120 dBs for 12 dB cyanide on the meter. So that is pretty good sensitivity, so nice and sensitive, on frequency, power output, that's everything really. Just cannot fault it. A lovely little radio. There is only one little problem, say it arrived in a very poorly condition. Everything is working on it now. It's multi-norm, it's got the various channels, UK and EU channels, which you can flick to with these various buttons on the front. But the very end button here, the function button, doesn't work. That doesn't affect much. It only seems to affect programming things up into the memory channels, which I'm not interested in anyway. But in the interest of fairness, all the other buttons work. When you press them, you've got an electronic noise blanker. Let's zoom the camera in a little bit better. Right. So we have the various buttons, and when you press them, they normally beep. That electronic signal processing, that's some kind of interference device, supposed to eliminate interference. But they're a bit weird, these buttons, you see. You've got to get the press right. Press it quickly. If you don't get it right, it doesn't work. See, this one, lock. This. If you hold that for 3 or 4 seconds, it switches to the EU channels and it displays the frequency on the EU channels. Back to the UK channel 20. Scan button. So normally, say when you press these, you hear a little bleep. But this one here at the end, the function one, you press this, nothing. Whether there's a wire off, or whether the button's damaged or not, I have no idea. CBPA button here, that works. Channel change switch. This is strange on this. If you notice, if you switch to channel 19, it says emergency in the bottom left hand corner. Only on channel 19 and also on channel 9. It displays emergency. Strange that, weird. And of course you can change the channels from the microphone itself. Again, it's a funny press. You know, you've got to press it carefully. See, otherwise you don't. You can go a few channels. So I'm not very keen on that feature either. It's very, very sensitive. But there we are. Midland 248 XL multi. And reading up about this particular one on the internet, it seems that there is a link or something you can cut internally, and it increases the power as well, and you can finish up with a lot more power output. But I've not looked into that, I'm not interested in that as far as I'm concerned. It's now running the 4 watts as it should with the right deviation. So that's been my little experiment playing around with this Midland.